Good morning, and welcome to another Writer's Morning Commute with Ashton Gaskill. So I finished Elantris early this week, which shouldn't be too much of a surprise. The climax definitely gets a bit faster paced, and you kind of fly through the ending. And I moved on to Brandon Sanderson's The Emperor's Soul, which is a novella set on the same world as Elantris, but on a very different part of it. So while it has a few, they mention some of the places that are mentioned in Elantris, you don't have any of the same cultures, the same characters, and it's very, offset. One thing I noticed was really interesting about it stems from the fact that I'm reading the novella in Sanderson's collection, Ultimate Arcanum, I believe is what it's called. Unlimited Arcanum, something like that. Anyways, I'm reading it in this collection, so the book is super thick, and I'm not getting close to the end of it as I get close to the end of the story. As such, also another thing to know about the novella is that the whole thing has this kind of time bomb built into it, such that at the beginning of the story, the main character is told she has 100 days to live, and the chapters are titled, day 2, day 3, day 12, day whatever. And I'm on day 87, I think, something around there. So we're gonna have like 2 weeks left to go. And I'm getting, super itchy. Like, I want to know how close to the end I am, how many more chapters there are, what else is going on. And this just made me realize, how much the medium that we partake stories in affects the stories, affects our experience of the stories. So I feel like a lot of times, we know that the end of the book is coming because there aren't many pages left. We can, physically see it just from the side of the book and where our bookmark is in that stack. And I think sometimes that kind of deflates the tension for me. Like, oh, okay, this is pretty much the last chapter. This plan is probably going to work, or if it doesn't, they're going to figure something out really fast, There's not much of a tension there just because I know the ending is about to come. And sometimes I get tricked because of that. And it's not something I try to think, it's just something that my brain does, Which is why a lot of times when I'm trying to watch movies, for instance, I try to ignore how much time is left in the movie. I think one movie that kind of did something interesting with this was The Dark Knight, where the whole movie is about Batman trying to catch the Joker, and we go through a very standard 3-act structure of Batman versus Joker. But in the background, the Joker is also making a new villain in Two-Face. And then after the 3rd act is over, like, oh, okay, the story's over now. Oh, wait. No, it's not. There's this whole other threat that needs to be taken care of in this kind of surprise 4th act. Similarly, I think some books do an interesting thing kind of on accident with this, especially fantasy books, where they include kind of their encyclopedia at the back. They have their pronunciation guides or their glossary of terms. A lot of them will contain the first chapter for their next book or a chapter from their next book as marketing. And all that adds to the thickness at the back of your book, so you don't know when you're going to reach the end. And it adds a little bit more of a random element to that. I have no idea how many days are left for the main character in Emperor's Soul. I have no idea if there are chapters after day 100. You know, maybe it just says after release, and there's stuff that happens afterwards. And the reason I don't know that, once again, is because I'm reading it in a thick collection, so I don't know where the ending is, and I've so far been very good about refusing to let myself see where that is, to flip forward. So if you want your readers to be caught up in that suspense, and you want them to be excited for the end of your book, maybe consider doing some of those tricks. Maybe consider working in a subplot that becomes a surprise extra act that's going to, you know, confuse your readers why the story is wrapping up so early. Maybe include bonus material at the end so that you surprise them by ending sooner than they thought. Either way, thank you for writing with me, and I hope you have a great day.